What you see behind us is our BMW R18 Dragster number 2. It's definitely taken some time to get R18 Dragster complete. This bike is a machine that was inspired by our original concept dragster that we built with BMW based on the R18, released a few years back. And what we've also done is take our Concept 90 and we basically jammed Dragster, the original Dragster, and Concept 90 together. And that is Dragster number 2. We got that sick orange metal flake paint job, beautiful execution by our friend Chris Wood. We've had to do quite a bit of modification to the chassis and the driveline specifically to get this Pro Stock size 15x8 rear wheel with a Mickey Thompson drag slick. No apologies in the chassis layout or the tire and wheel size or the stretch of the chassis. This thing is all about going fast in a straight line. It's not very comfortable. It is not built to go around corners in any way, shape, or form. It's got a flat slick in the back of it. Fuel tank was fabricated by Aaron Boss, our in-house fabricator, and it is a pretty unique way to mount the nitrous bottle. We wanted to expose the nitrous bottle. We didn't want to hide it. I think it's a really cool aesthetic. It's polished and it really pops out of the gas tank, but you kind of French it in there, and basically the right side of the fuel tank doesn't have any fuel in it. There's a flat plate, so we cut the right side of the fuel tank off and welded it back on, but then created this really nice elliptical reveal for the nitrous bottle. Aaron also fabricated an adjustable rear foot peg setup. As you can see, there's 0 foot controls on this bike because all of the shifting is done on the handlebars. It has a electronic shifter that shifts the bike with a push button on the left side. The rear brake is controlled by a thumb lever up on the handlebar. And we did all this so we could keep the foot controls really clean and just take care of everything on the handlebars. We have modified the intake to be to mount the throttle bodies directly in the middle of the bike. We've removed the air box and ran some straight stainless runners into the heads and some shortened exhaust that exit right about your shins, but when you get your feet up on the pegs, you get out of the way of that exhaust. I've ridden the bike, so it's actually, the exhaust isn't too bad. It looks a lot worse than it is. The most surprising thing about this bike is probably the driveline. As you can see, this is a chain drive BMW R18. All R18s start life as a shaft drive. I'm sure that this is the only chain drive BMW R18 you'll probably ever see. We've taken the drive unit off the wheel and moved it forward of the rear wheel, and then built a transfer unit that moves the drive to the left of the bike. Allows us to use a change drive, also allows us to modify the gearing, and it gets the chain out of the way of that extra wide rear wheel and Mickey Thompson drag slick. The seat is by Saddlemen and it has a nice back on it. Keeps you on the bike when you're accelerating. A lot of wiring, so it took considerable amount of work to get the wiring done, and much of that is stored underneath the motor, and there is a nice pan on the bottom that hides some of that stuff that we don't want to show off. We didn't get an opportunity to run this thing on a drag strip quite yet. This bike's been in the dealership of McKenna BMW, and we're able to show the bike off here to some of his customers. This is BMW Dragster 2, over and out.